I want to talk about another incredible book called um, Excorsing, the Inexorcible Buganda Ghost. For starters, when you look at this book, or when you perhaps read the title denotatively, you may probably think that we're trying uh, to perhaps be malicious or maybe impute certain insinuations. But far from it, listen, the exhausting of the inexhaustible Buganda Roast, hoodwinked, dumped, used, and redumped, is basically a book for a quest for Buganda's thirst, unquenchable thirst for independence. Because Buganda particularly was found to be a centralized state before the white man invaded Africa. And many of the things that were happening is that they found this centralized state with a centralized force in terms of the Kabaka as the head of that institution. And then when they came to the Order in Council, Inception Clause, and then the signing of the 1900 Agreement, we see that much of that was taken away from Buganda. And the independence that Buganda had was actually sacrificed at that point. So everything that kind of manifested itself thereafter became a way of a hoodwink, in a sense that the Baganda people thought that they were actually dealing with the white man, in a sense that they were trying to actually help them, but instead they ended up losing their sovereignty. Listen, Buganda is a state, as a centralized unit, had actually thrived for a period of more than 700 years. Listen, although they had 3 counties, and their weakness particularly was because they had that what they call expansion tendencies, and that's what the white man used to manipulate. So we, in this book, we try to appreciate and analyze the 1900 Agreement and ascertain in terms of its legality, whether it was a legal instrument, and therefore was it binding on the people of Buganda, notwithstanding the fact that at the time of signing, the Kabaka had actually been deposed. Mwanga had actually been deposed. And then here is a young guy who was made to sign, Daudi Chua, with regents who are not appointed by Buganda at all. And we all know under the law of contract, we have aspects that have to do with what are called vitiating factors. So where these, what is a contract in law? And therefore, is it enforceable? Is it void or void ab initio? So when you read this book, you probably want to bring out those aspects and try to understand whether or not Buganda has actually been hoodwinked and therefore dumped, used, and redumped. Even when you argue in terms of the present scenario, for example, the separation of Kampala